I think that the first one with Supernatural was a conscious decision. I think that it was Lauryn Hill called it that. A conscious decision to invite people to create a masterpiece of joy in their own lives. This one is a conscious decision to invite people to claim something that they never lost. Always have been, never not have been, always will be. Light first. This idea came from my brother-in-law and my manager, Michael. You know, he said, hey, what do you think about doing like a Supernatural in Spanish and Latin? I'm like, what? You know, and so he set forward the intentionality. Then we got the players, we got the musicians and the songs and the musicians. But I think the message is still, there's a lot of people who walk around not being happy unless they're miserable, and they wear it like a badge of honor. So this album is a great opportunity with journalists like yourselves, for us together to invite people to update your software. I absolutely identify with what he said, because Nelson Mandela freed a country, a nation. We free minds from being twisted. Like I said, most people are not happy unless they're miserable, and they wear it like a badge of honor. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And he's not bragging. I mean, what he said, I don't squirm at all, because, you know, Nelson Mandela, Pancho Villa, the Pope, all these people that we love, they're not the only ones who can make a difference in the world. There's a lot of people who never have a name in history, but they're making history right now. One positive thought creates millions of positive vibrations. John Coltrane. It is possible, inevitable, to do and be Nelson Mandela and Malcolm X and Spartacus and Pancho Villa and Geronimo. All of this, and all the women like Lady Godiva. I mean, there's a lot of women who go in history like Mother Teresa, who kick butt, change the world, but they don't get the notoriety that men get. I identify with that. So I don't squirm when you say, we know, like Nelson Mandela, we're gonna make history. That's right. I don't squirm with that. I don't have a problem with that, you know? Because he does it in a political sense. We do it in a spiritual revolution. I've been doing this since '67 with the hippies. Consciousness revolution, you know? But it's the same thing, you know? There's still many minds to free from the twistedness. They insist in misery rather than victory. I do identify with the World Cup as being a world victory, a world unity and celebration. And I have invited the main persons in charge of creating such a global event to do two things. One is invest some of that money from watches and beer and Disney and Nike and everything into the favelas, into more schools, more teachers, more. Same thing with Donald Sterling, you know? Now that you show those colors, show the other colors. Take some of your money and do the same thing that Andre Agassi did with a school, you know? One. Two, let's play some music by Marvin Gaye, Bob Marley, John Lennon, when people are walking in to see this event. Because see, you still have a lot of racism, not only in basketball, but in World Cup. People still throw bananas on the soccer field when black people are playing, okay? I'm not afraid to say that, because it's happening. But if you put the right music in elevators, parking lots, and the event itself, music that says imagine, one love, then people start like, oh, you know, now you can root for excellence, not just your team. So I'm trying to elevate constantly the consciousness of humans, so we're able to dismantle hate and fear. That is our only enemy. And you don't conquer it with weapons, Pentagon. You know, you defend, protect, and attack. That's really expensive. You conquer it with conscious love and light. Those are my weapons. We did 9 songs so far with the original, with Greg Raleigh, Michael Shreese, Michael Carabella, and now Neil Sean. And I do plan on bringing Marcus to 1 or 2 songs to Las Vegas to record a couple of songs with us. And, you know, because I believe in redemption. I believe that humans should get a second chance. You know, I don't believe in sin. but I do believe in errors that can be corrected and mended, and transformed. So yeah, I didn't make a shallow, hollow promise. I will give Marcus the Magnificent Malone, an opportunity to come and play congas in a couple of songs.